Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. As you know, it's been kind of a whirlwind lately.
Yes.
So,
It's been a stressful time for both of us, for sure.
yeah, we're making it. We're getting through it, though.
Yeah.
So, just life.
Such is life.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
But we've been busy,
Yeah.
and it's been a while since we've done this again, unfortunately. But
I feel like we just did it.
it's been over a week. So, I mean, we've been obviously stuff happening and weather and power outages and everything has kind of delayed a few things as far as getting episodes out when we need to.
So we're kind of behind on that. When did the last one drop? Yesterday?
Was it yesterday or the day before? I don't know. Either way, it's out. I know it's not Monday or Sunday evenings, but we'll get back on that schedule. So
Yeah. Think you can do it?
I should be able to with this one because you're leaving me this weekend.
I know. But you have a child, so I don't know how much you'll get done.
Yeah, well, I mean, today she's going.
Yeah, she'll want to.
Okay. No, I mean, it's just a little bit time consuming, but it's pretty easy to put it together.
Good.
Obviously, the more I do it, the more, like, the workflow is getting better and stuff with it, that it's really not getting too bad. And I've been recording things a little bit differently. That's helped on that front, too. And
is the audio pretty easy to just export out? Or is there a lot to do before you can
well, I mean,
push that?
Yeah, I mean, because I'm just exporting just an audio file once I have the video editing done. So
you do have to do the video before you can push it on the other ones?
Yeah, but I got a few days. I mean, I got all weekend where I can get it out and have that ready for Monday. So,
yeah.
And then when you get back, we could just kind of recap the weekend right away.
Yeah, next week is busy.
Yeah.
Really busy.
Yes. As far as as far as work goes, it's been pretty chaotic for both of us.
Yeah.
I've picked up a lot of work, which is great. I have a lot of things, like this month is pretty well booked up, which it has been. I mean, I have a big editing workload and stuff, but I just had my first official shoot with Enterprise.
Yes. Enterprise Wood Products.
Which was really good and really cool. That was last week. So really cool kind of full circle moment, kind of, that all of a sudden I'm kind of documented and back into the woods industry. And then
on that note,
also picked up Ponzi as a client.
Yay.
Which is like
what you've wanted.
Well, what I wanted, but then also like just to retouch like an extremely full circle moment. Because that's the equipment that I ran.
Yeah.
And then prior to me getting out of it, I mean, I was the last one in the family to get out of it. A customer for 30 years, roughly.
Yeah.
And it's their 35th anniversary here in the States, and it's like 55 globally for the company. So it's kind of a big year, but they like to document some of their customers and do these like I wouldn't say like a review, but just kind of a story. So that's the direction they've been doing it. And it's not that they don't have people that do terrible work, but me coming from that background and everything, I feel like it could be better.
Yeah, of course.
Videoing is one thing. I mean, you can throw especially with equipment, like you could do pretty much everything with a drone. And make it look like eye-catching and captivating for people to want to watch. But then I feel like the storytelling side of things could be better.
Yeah, I agree completely.
So hopefully, Diana's still got to get back to me of who we're going to kind of nail down for a client. But because we're kind of pushing out now.
Probably after breakup for sure. Well.
Yeah, and it's going to depend on the client and who they're wanting and what they have for work, obviously. And the way this breakup is going locally, it's
a decent job to.
It's going to be a while before people are, back into, good ground and everything. So just with this weather, the way it's been.
Yeah, it's just a never ending.
Yeah, I mean, the last month and a half here, it's like winter finally hit for
Yeah.
us. It was pretty mild again until mid-winter. We got a decent snowfall, and I mean, again, like we hardly had much snow on the ground for winter.
Yeah, I was going to say we pretty much got our winter all in March. Otherwise, it wasn't that bad at all.
Yeah, now it's at the point where it's just kind of getting old.
But the forecast looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean, aside from the water that we need, I mean, it just drags. And I don't really mind now, other than like it just kind of makes it difficult to get out outside to do things.
Yeah.
But when I was in the woods, like this is a logger's worst nightmare.
Yes,
honestly.
it is. I know.
Because everybody going through winter, like it was pretty cold, so like ground conditions were probably really good compared to last winter where like it was mid 30s, it seemed, most of winter.
It
like
never really froze.
No, so people were struggling and honestly cutting their breakup work during the winter, and just because they were struggling to have good ground. To where this winter that wasn't a problem, and then not having a lot of snow, like it's a win-win. Frozen ground, not dealing with a lot of snow. People were getting around in the woods good, like production was probably great.
Trucks were probably fine.
Everything that way, and then your immediate thought is things are warming up in March just on schedule. We're going to have a quick breakup and I'm going to be right back to work in April. And here we are, like, and you look at the future forecast and what's on the ground and everything. It's like, this is going to drag out and it could easily be that 2.5 month breakup.
Yeah.
That every logger doesn't want to deal with.
I think we had one that was really bad.
There was one for sure that, like, I was off for like 2 months and it's just.
I feel like you went back like the end of May.
Yeah, there's times where if it's a bad breakup, be prepared to be working on your equipment and have your equipment out of the woods by March 15th. And if you're lucky to be back to work by June 1st.
Yeah, so maybe people don't understand that. Like, all operations stop. Like,
Well, not all the time. I mean, there was definitely years where I worked straight through because we had work. We had work lined up that was on Class A highways, that there were no road limits. But then the big kicker is to find land and property that you can cut on that don't have restrictions.
Right.
So,
and if the ground is shit, you're still struggling through it.
Well, that's one thing, but typically during breakup, there's such heavy restrictions on the ground that there's only certain jobs you can cut anyways.
Yeah.
So for the majority of the area local to us we're kind of like right in the heart of the Nicolet-Chequamegon National Forest. So it's majority federally owned. And they love their restrictions.
Yes, they do.
And I don't know, I would say at least 60% of their ground is winter only, if not a little bit more.
Yeah.
Maybe pushing at like 70%. Unless if it's like super dry year and they'll, basically send soil biologists out and check the ground and the saturation levels and everything, and it gets super complicated. And all right, like I think this ground is firm enough that you guys could get in and work, but we're going to be really checking on you, and you can't, like a rut in the woods is like classified by something like more than 4 inches deep and like 30 feet long or something,
Oh my gosh.
which obviously I get, you don't want that. And, that's where obviously running tracks on your equipment and throwing all the brush and everything you can to keep yourself up is definitely important. But that's where pushing a little bit more west, we get into the county and state land. When you get into, there's quite a bit more in like western Vilas County, Oneida. There's a fair bit more private. I mean, we have some private locally, obviously just private landowners, but nothing like big tracks. So it's a little bit more tedious when you're just going in and cutting 15, 20 acres. Like you need several lined up to be busy that way.
Yeah.
So and that's where pushing westward was a little bit more beneficial for me because the soil turns real sandy.
Yeah, you did.
So it's a lot more oak. It's a lot more pine. Aspen, more clear cuts, which then obviously you have all the brush in the world to run on top of, which keeps you up, which is good. But sticking locally here, like, you're going to...
There's a lot of loggers that struggle.
Yeah, I mean, just when breakup hits, like, you obviously plan accordingly that every time, once a year, you do a major service on your equipment anyways, where you're dumping all fluids, you're repairing anything that needs to be repaired that you've kind of pushed off a little bit through a winter, like replacing hoses and all the tedious little stuff. So, like, there's plan a couple weeks typically, just machine repair. And then because winter is typically balls to the walls, you're running hard, you're working long hours and stuff, that you don't have to necessarily worry about weather as much. I mean, you're dealing with snow, you're not dealing with rain, where rain isn't good. You oversaturate the woods that way. So it was just maintenance time, but then also take a little bit of time off and let's get back to it. But there was a year there where it was 2.5 months probably.
Yeah.
To the point where, you're needing to, because like those payments don't stop.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
The bills
there's
don't
no
stop.
income.
It's not like you're not pausing insurance. You have employees as well. So I'm not really bringing in any money, but I got to pay my guys to come in and work on equipment.
And all the bills.
Yeah, our personal bills, of course. The little things there. And then obviously maintenance and services on equipment is not cheap.
No.
I mean, I think at the time it was about $5,000 a machine.
That's what I was going to say too.
And then I tried to help out with whoever was working for me at the time as much as I could, because their income's completely stopping too, and they're not as flexible as me. And then it was, dealing with the banks to, early on, like I just had a line of credit.
Well,
to
honestly,
help.
the banks did skip payments.
The problem is with Breakup is to plan accordingly. Depending on when your payment falls, you're taking 3 months of payments off a year.
Whoa,
Because
that is loud.
what?
Geese.
Was that geese?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, there's a bunch of birds around right now.
Holy smokes. That was loud.
But yeah, you're taking 3 months off because like you plan for 2 months of maybe not working. But then with 2 months not working, you want that month to kind of catch back up and to get money back flowing back into the bank and that, because you don't want to like all of a sudden roll into June and you've only been working for a week and you have a big payment right away. But then you disperse those 3 months out into the rest of the year. So it can really bring your payment up to where...
At least it's an option.
When I first got in, it made more sense to keep my payment down, because if I'm working through Breakup, like great, because there were several years where I did.
Yeah.
Cheap payment throughout the year, just make them straight through. And then if I needed a little bit of assistance, like I just had a line of credit sitting. And then if I did need to use it, so like there was that 1 year where like I'd use most of my line of credit to make it through Breakup. The payments to get that paid off were overall cheaper than what it would have been to increase.
Right.
So, but I don't need to necessarily worry about that anymore.
Nope.
Even though I just ranted about it for like 10 minutes.
That's okay. It's just part of who you are. And I mean, you were just in a machine not that long ago, and now you're going to go film some. I'm so excited for that one. So Jeremy's been talking about wanting to do stuff for Ponzi for months. Like, you've been throwing ideas at me for what you've wanted to do, and then randomly she reaches out. I'm like, it was meant to be. You needed to do this. So I'm really excited to see that come together.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, there's like no budget in a sense. They just like, we don't want it to be too expensive. And I'm like, well, what's expensive for you guys?
Yeah, what's expensive for Ponzi?
So like, I threw them a reasonable quote and they're fine with it.
Really?
Yeah, which is like, shit, I probably could have went higher.
Of course. That's, I feel like that's the name of the game with this.
But whatever, get my foot in the door. We'll plan a day to shoot. I'll have a couple of days of editing because it'll be a longer video and really want it to go together well and everything. And, but then Turkey next week, I have to film.
My dad's getting married.
Oh, geez.
Next week.
Completely off the rails, different direction.
It's next week.
I know, but
We're talking about things.
Talking
we're
turkeys.
doing.
Oh, yeah, my dad's getting married.
And we're just talking about what's coming up.
Oh, okay. But yes.
And my dad gets married before you can kill turkeys. So
Isn't it Wednesday?
Tuesday.
Oh. But yeah, we're going to go roost birds Monday, Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully kill Wednesday. But then if not, I kind of have some flexibility Thursday, Friday. And if we kill, I'll probably be headed west.
Yeah.
To do some stuff for Mike.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Easter
and the following week is kind of open for me work-wise, but I know I'm going to have so much editing to do.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to keep it that way. Because I've been intentionally keeping weeks open and kind of booking further out in advance so that I just know I have, consistent income that way, but then also realizing that I'm going to have a big editing workload.
Mm-hmm.
So even like the Ponzi stuff is like, at this point, to not feel like I'm cramming it in is probably going to be end of May, beginning of June, to have like the time.
Yeah.
Which would maybe be better for whoever they're trying to line out.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of on them. I threw out some suggestions of local loggers that I know. And then to try to find somebody who fits that build. That's kind of probably, I think the direction they're wanting to go is with it being a big year, them being in the States for 35 years, to have like a more longer term customer. But then to have somebody that's going to be okay being on camera.
Yeah.
Like I have a few that I have in mind, but I don't know how they would feel about
sharing their story.
Kind of just being in the spotlight.
Oh.
Like bigger companies, but they're just kind of, they like to just, kind of be back in the shadows, and they get all the work they can, and they're a big company, but they're not like very boisterous. They're not like big on social media. They're not, you know what I mean? Kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. I think that'd be a good fit because big company, long-term customer, everything that way, and probably will continue to be a long-term customer.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we'll see. And then I picked up a Canada trip to go film a bear hunt.
That's amazing. I'm excited for you about that.
Thanks, Keegan.
Yeah. Shout out.
Mm-hmm. And I think that'll come with a lot of really fun and good stuff because my work will be on the Outdoor Channel. So, actually filming for a guy who's got his TV show.
Cool.
So, and he does everything, and we wanted to touch base and actually get on a phone call, and an hour and a half later, I finally get to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Which was good because then I had to get on the road like early the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I went over to Ladysmith and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which would be cool. So that'll be a week trip up to. Keegan made it sound like it was Alberta, but I'm thinking it might be Ontario. But maybe we're flying into Edmonton and going across the Providence line. I don't know, but that'll be really cool.
That'll be fun.
Giant black bear. Like there's some big ones up there. Probably just sitting on the ground in a made blind. Close and personal with a bow, like 15 yards.
That's going to be insane.
So that'll be super cool. And
yeah, I think you called me and you're like, when's our turkey tag? And I'm like, what do you got going?
Well, literally he calls me and then he's like, so it does cross over with like the first like 2 or 3 days of our turkey tag for here, I think.
I think you're only going to have 2 days to kill when you get back.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. So yeah, I'll be back Sunday, so we'll have like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? Or just Monday, Tuesday?
Monday, Tuesday.
So
we'll see. I'm curious if the birds are doing much right now for your tag next week.
That's what I'm worried about.
You should reach out to Tom and see if he's been scouting or anything or what.
Yeah, I'll touch base this weekend because obviously I need to link up with him Monday.
I mean, there's a few people that I've seen, posting strutting toms around, but they're not very active right now. Like, what did we just see? Those toms with a bunch of hens running around. Like,
but that can change real quick.
Yeah.
If it warms up like it's supposed to this weekend, like that just might flip the switch right there.
Yeah.
So, and I did see coming across 70 actually on the way home from when I went over to, I had that property to shoot in Dairyland, so it was a long hike home. It was in our zone, there was a lone tom. But I pulled over and tried to call to him, and he was tight-lipped. So he was definitely just headed to the roost because it was right before.
Were you with me when we saw those two toms all puffed up under the trees?
Mm-hmm.
Where was that at?
We were headed to our tax meeting. That was in Crandon, like right basically behind the clinic there by the horse farm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, those were really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
But, so yeah, you'll be gone for my turkey tag, which you're going to have to leave me something. A GoPro or something. I know you're going to need everything you can, but...
See what I can manage, yeah.
I'm going to need something to try to get a little bit of it on film. But I'm going to either go solo or go with my brother. My brother's always there if we ever need anything. But I'll try to go solo and see how it works out. And
it's just our zone. It's out of his that he's in.
yeah.
So he's not really going to know where to go.
He said he's got a few spots, but...
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you push up from Crandon, like the, zone 7 line's probably not too far north of Argonne.
No, it's...
Like Hiles might even be close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Or is it G? What is the line there? I'd be curious to actually take a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
The line might be G and north.
Yeah.
To like 32 and over kind of a thing.
But yeah, we'll see if I can get one.
Because I think, what is it, north of 8? So it might be G.
Mm-hmm.
Or it might be all of north of 8. And if it's all of north of 8, well then, I mean...
There's so much.
Yeah, I mean, you have all of Argonne and everything then. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, that was just the only bummer is I'm going to be missing... Because I have a turkey tag too.
For the same week I do, yeah.
For the same week. So the plan was obviously to get out and film us and... kind of self-film and put something together for us and be a little bit more active on wanting to put some longer form things together on our channel, but then obviously have content for days with it.
Yeah.
But with having some time this weekend, I think I could probably finally go through some of the turkey stuff I had last year and I had some cool stuff anyways.
Yeah.
We did capture. I mean, we didn't get anything, but pretty country. And then, yeah, I get back. So, yeah, when he called and wanted to know if I could do that, I'm like, I got to figure out what our dates are. Because I know we had turkey tags there, and I kind of purposely didn't put anything in for our season. But then having that kind of an opportunity and knowing, like, even the conversation I had with him, it was like an hour and a half later, I finally get off the phone that we kind of hit it off and talked a little bit about everything. And I think it'll be a really good fit. But then... as he's growing the brand and everything that way, like it'll get better, but wanting to probably incorporate and mix me in throughout the year.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a great opportunity.
So, I mean, we talked elk hunting, mule deer, he's got antelope, he's got another bear hunt, he does a ton of whitetail, he turkey hunts all spring, like he just got a turkey 2 days ago. I don't remember where he was headed. Somewhere kind of east, more southern, but, so I mean... super active. He's all over, does a little bit of everything.
Yep.
So it would definitely come with some good stuff.
But then we're going to have to chat if we're going to make Madison work or not. Mm-hmm. I've been kind of, not stressing about it, but thinking about it a lot. I'm like, shit, how is this going to work?
Well, we'll see what the weather does. We have, I mean, what is that? That's over a month away. Mm-hmm. So we'll see, because obviously, like, I wouldn't be shocked that birds are going crazy down there already.
Yeah.
So we'll just stay in communication with them, and then if they feel like things are kind of petering out and it's going to be difficult again, we just need to probably, I don't know, we could still maybe go down, but not necessarily turkey hunt, I guess.
If I have a tag, I'll definitely...
No, but like we could go down with the intention to do some trout fishing or something that we could incorporate, because we're going to have Avery with.
Yeah.
Where she could actually be with us. And if by chance we feel like some turkeys are working, like we could give it a shot real quick or something, or like try midday afternoon kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
So you don't want to go at all?
Oh, I want to go.
Well, what are we going to do with Avery?
I think our best option is to see how it goes with Michelle, but I think split up.
Well, we can't go solo out
No,
there.
not solo, with Gar. Gar take me in the morning, and then the next day you can go or something, just to at least try to get out, especially if we don't get one during my tag. I'll really be itching.
We'll see. I wouldn't want to do that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'd rather do something than nothing.
Yeah, but like if we're not going to be able to turkey hunt at all up here together, like I'm not going to go down there and sit back and let you go.
No, I know. That would be hard.
And I feel like throwing Avery in a sense to the wolves of like getting up in a new place to somebody else early in the morning just isn't going to work.
Yeah, that might be hard on her.
So I don't know. We could see how it goes with her, but I mean, she could definitely come with if, we could use Gar's 4-wheeler and stuff again, where she could probably come with in the afternoons.
Yeah.
We could take that midday break, go back and grab her, and she could come lug around in the woods with us a little bit.
Yeah.
So, because it seemed like with that property, a lot of the turkeys that were active were more in the bottom in the afternoon anyways.
Yep.
So it could be just
Could be different this year. We have no idea, but
let's just go throw the decoys out in the corner and sit and wait.
most of the turkey that have been killed have all been in the top field
Well, yeah,
on that property.
I'm sure. Yeah, it just makes sense.
Right where we were.
I mean, it obviously makes sense with them wanting to roost up there. It's definitely where they're roosting.
Yeah.
So
We'll see. And then the week after our Madison tags, you got walleye tour, right?
yeah, so if we do Madison, we'll be driving separately because then Sunday I need to be in lacrosse all week. So run around with the guys on the walleye tour again.
Yep.
So I don't know. I mean, I'll obviously run around and do a ton of scenic stuff and kind of double dip of hitting that real estate side of things. Different counties and different towns and stuff while I'm down there, but it'll be probably a couple days in the boat with Hoyer and Mike, and I'm trying to think. We'll see how the tournament goes. That if any of the guys that he knows, or obviously sponsoring Hoyer, if he's in contention, then probably stick around for the final weigh-in too. Which
Yeah.
I think it would be Sunday then, so it might be an entire week.
Yeah.
And he'll probably have an Airbnb, I would think. So depending on what he's got booked, kind of figure it out. And it'd be, to be honest, it'd be really nice if he'd bring his boat. But I'll have to talk to him about that.
Yeah.
Because he's actually got his boat set up now to where, I could run around a little bit myself. I don't know if he's going to have anybody else come in. I don't know. Like last year, me and Keegan ran around together. So I don't know if he reached out to him about maybe coming up and doing something. So I know it's kind of a slower time of the year for him as well. Normally that last year it worked out great where we ran around in Door County together and then went to Red Wing for the week. So I'll see if that's something that Mike is considering or if he reached out or if he's just wanting to put the workload on me, that's fine. I don't care. But it'd be really nice to have that second boat.
Yeah, I'm
for
sure.
filming purposes, So we'll see. Because even tournament day, then I could get out.
Yeah. Yep.
Just kind of keep your distance and that. But
Yeah, I don't know how that all works, but I'm sure that would be nice.
no, I mean, it's completely fine, completely legal. Like, there's no problem with it.
Okay.
So,
Speaking of fishing, I've been trying to catch a trout.
it's something else that you've gotten started to do.
Sent my waders in to be fixed, so I'm a little bit limited right now
Yeah.
to shorelines, but
Yeah, and honestly, with water levels being high, it's not like you're going to walk right down the middle of a river.
well, and I will be honest, I've caught trout in my life, but I feel pretty clueless right now. And in the sense of, is this cold water turn them off? Because over in western Wisconsin, they're catching them like crazy, but it's been so much warmer over there.
Yeah, but a lot of that, like I said, probably doesn't matter as much. But
Because it's just been so ice cold, and our rivers have had ice in the mornings, and I just don't know if I'm wasting my time yet and need to let it warm up a little bit, or if I'm just not in the right spot.
well, I mean, I know the Pine River can be decent here, but
I tried rock, I tried trees, I've tried holes, I've tried shallow, and I'm just not finding them.
you got to do your research. But I'd be looking for those pools where they can escape some of the current.
Yep.
But I mean, I don't know. I've caught some out of the Pine River too, and I just don't remember them ever really being anything exciting.
Well, it's still a trout.
Sure, but
Again, goes back to my comment like episodes ago. Like, I don't care if they're small. I like to catch fish.
I know, but like the ones I've always caught and pulled out of there, like 6 inches, like just short little, small.
Oh, yeah. I remember I caught I think it was like a 13 or 14 inch brook trout when I was with my mom when I was a young girl. I have a picture of it standing in front of the stove. But I remember it was a huge rock and I just casted next to it and it was nothing. But also new in the sense of this is catch and release only, and you can only use artificial. So every trout I've ever caught has been on a worm. And I'm like, okay, now what? But
yeah, and I've always just thrown little spinners.
Little spinners or little jigs. So all new to me, but it's fun. I don't mind. It's nice to just have a long rod in my hand and go walk around. So nice. I have a couple spots that I think I should just go where I used to catch trout with Mom and see if I can catch anything right now. At least I am more familiar with what's going on.
Yeah, is it open there? Okay.
Yeah, it's the Peshtigo.
Okay.
Yep. So that's all new to me. But I will keep my long rod in my car this weekend.
Boy.
Yay. I'm going to stop at like everything I see.
Yeah.
It's going to take me forever to get over there or get home or both.
Well, I think you'll be eager to get over there.
I'm going over to New Richmond to see my friends, Jamie and Whitney. I'm very excited.
I can tell. Acting like a little schoolgirl.
It's long overdue. So long overdue. I don't remember the last time I was over there. I think it was my pheasant hunt. That's stupid.
When did you do that? November? December? Early December?
Something like that.
Was it that late? Or was it in the mix of duck hunting?
It was.
You could,
It was the mix of duck hunting.
So it must have been early November or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe even like later October because I remember now like Wendy saying that if there's ducks in the pond we could.
Yeah.
So.
I know it was after Halloween because we weren't able to do that dueling pianos and dress up because that was already over with.
That's right. And our season might have been over or just finishing up. It's very strange. Like you wouldn't think of it going straight west into Minnesota. I think where you were was technically southern zone for Minnesota.
Yeah, it was.
So their season runs later there compared to ours.
Yep.
I think it's a week later there. So I mean, like even Eric is hunting a week later typically than we do. Because like Minnesota goes so much further north than we think.
Yeah. I don't think we ever talked on that, and I won't go off on a rant too much, but we went over to that Minnesota side for a pheasant hunt with a friend of ours, Wendy, and we were able to stay at her father's house, who is Jim Killen, and he does a ton of waterfowl paintings, big time painter. I'm pretty sure he did these coasters. But we got to stay in his home. He's now passed on, but all of his paintings are still in there. His studio is still set up. She sent us home with some paintings. I should show those off because they are phenomenal. I haven't framed them yet. But that was
Forgot about those, actually.
honestly like such a memorable trip, one I'll never forget. And
I mean, did you even kill a pheasant?
me, no.
No, like anybody.
Yeah.
Did you get a couple?
Yeah, I think we got a few.
Yeah, because I mean, it's technically free range there.
Yeah.
But again, like I think we've touched on it before. It's not necessarily about like the money you spend or what you get.
Or what you kill.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Oh my gosh, the trip was so amazing, and yeah, I think we killed a few. Like,
But I mean,
it
just the
was
camaraderie of the girls. I mean,
being able to stay in that home, and the group of girls that we had was amazing. Like there's no bad egg. It's just the best group of girls. How many were there? 8.
yeah.
Something like that, but we all just enjoy doing the same thing. I took Willow with us. She got to pheasant hunt a little bit, so that was good. But yeah, that trip was so nice.
Yeah.
We do that every year. That's the shirt.
Pretty feathers.
Pretty feathers. So we do these little pheasant trips every year, and yeah, I haven't been over there since then, so it's long overdue. Gonna stay at Jamie's house and let the professional chef cook me some food.
Jealous. We need to plan something all together.
Yeah, we do.
So even if it's just run over and go get dinner sometime and we just kind of hang out or whatever.
Cosmic Clays.
Go do Cosmic Clays or shit. Even just go do Top Golf and just have a little bit of fun. Like we could do. Just go get a quick dinner. I mean, we can always just go over and hang out. And there's plenty to do over there. We love being over that way. And I'd love to go check out that new Sitka store. And I still need to get my blood work done.
Yeah.
Which is stupid because it's convenient in a sense of, I guess I've never talked about it.
No, you haven't.
So like I use an online provider to just kind of keep my bases checked. And the only way to kind of really know what a person should be taking and to be health conscious and stuff is like get your blood work done regularly.
See where you're at.
And your markers are going to tell all, if you're low on magnesium and you're low on, your cholesterol needs to be kind of checked, or like your thyroid needs a little bit of, some supplementation, or I've like for a while, and when was it? All of a sudden I just started to struggle with weight again.
Yeah.
Like worked out hard, and obviously stress is a factor, and I know that, but like I'm like, what the hell? This was 4 or 5 years ago. And I mean, I'm not completely happy with where I'm at right now again, but it's just, new work and prioritizing that. It's just hard to get to the gym as much as I want right now. Which is just an excuse. I know, Jeremy, I get it. But yeah, all of a sudden, like, I'm like, you know what? I need to just get all this done. And like my testosterone was in a freaking tank. So I've been on TRT for 2 years now, year and a half.
2 years for sure.
And compared to what I used to feel like, I'm like, how did I even operate?
Well, and there's so many people that are walking around every day that are tanked in some aspect, and they'll never know, and they'll never.
Yeah, and there was like really no rhyme or reason.
Once you feel better, you don't realize how bad you felt.
Yeah, and it's also like I was in my late 20s, like I shouldn't be struggling with that, is my thought. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you never consider that thing, like, but I mean, it's really strange and really stupid as far as like when you throw it on a medical scale that a person is technically quote unquote good. Are we pushing it?
I don't know. We're recording.
We got like a few more minutes.
Okay.
But like if you look on a scale for like the male testosterone range, like you're quote unquote in the green or like good. Like low end is I think like 280 or 320 or something, but then like all the way up into the 900s. It's like how I understand people do that. There's people that can operate and feel the same at 300 compared to 900. But just imagine where that person at 300 would feel if he was in that 900 range.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
And of course, there's some natural remedies and things that you can do, and obviously a lot of it's diet and exercise and stuff. But like at the time, I mean, I was working in the woods, super stressed out. Like my cortisol was through the roof, definite factor. But like I addressed those things first. I always ate relatively good. Like I packed a lunch. It was always like chicken and rice or steak and this and veggies, and like tried to actually have a couple of really good meals. I had a protein shake after working out. Like I went to the gym every single day.
I know. I was always frustrated by it because I'm like, Jeremy is working out every single day. He's eating right. Like, how is he struggling? Like, what is he missing?
I think it was the stupid shit that I put in my body when I was younger. Like 18, 19, coming out of high school and stuff. And like some of the pre-workouts even that we used back then of like, to be honest, like the like original Jacked 3D, if anybody's into the gym, was like meth. Like seriously. In like 6 months after its release or something, like it's completely banned. Like because people were like having heart attacks and stuff of it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
When it was like at the time in high school, like if I was a senior when like that was on the market, but it was like the best thing that ever hit the market. Go get your hands on it, so it was like run the GNC and buy supplements at the time, before starting to buy everything online. So I'm sure that was a factor too, I would think. Putting that kind of shit in my body probably didn't help.
No.
And not really knowing, you know what I mean? A lot of that stuff then was new. I mean, like going through high school, there was no like these online forums or like YouTube really wasn't a thing. It was all like muscle development and, was it men's fitness, I think, muscle development. There was another one. Like go buy magazines and you're seeing all the ads in there. And,
Yep.
that's where
There's
all the,
so much more information out there now.
yeah. But yeah, so I deal with an online provider to do all that stuff. And I need to go to a LabCorp to get my blood work done, which is Madison or the Twin Cities.
It's so dumb.
And I would need to do it. I've been like pushing it off for months, and like my provider's like, "Did you get your blood work done? Did you get your blood work done?" Like, I've paid for it. Everything's ready. I just need to go show up and get it done, and it gets
just
sent off.
going
And
over
then
there.
I have like an online consultation with, the provider and a doctor, and like go through everything and see where I'm at and where my goals align and what kind of things should I add, what are things I should take out, what are some things that maybe I can lower or increase, like.
And then it shows up on the doorstep. It's pretty convenient. If we
On that
if
front,
we
other
lived
than the blood
closer
work.
to the lab, it'd be amazing.
So I've been trying to just coordinate getting it done when I'm close to the cities, because like I go over there for work, not that quite frequently,
I know.
but it's like I was probably within. I mean, Dairyland had to be an hour and a half probably to the cities, maybe maybe 2. And it was kind of hard to tell where I was at. But it's like by the time I got there, it was like 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It's like, well, they're
It's not
gonna
even
be,
open.
Yeah, they're going to be closed, and it was a Saturday, so that didn't help either. So it's like it needs to be a Monday through Friday, and I need to be close enough within business hours, and it's like. So one of those things where I'm hoping that I go over by Mike or something for a period of time, and then I can just like tell him like, hey, I need to run into the cities quick.
Yeah, you have to.
I need to get my blood work done and let me know where I need to be kind of after that.
Yep.
So I could be there right when they open at 7.
I did that a couple times too.
And I obviously know like we need to get consistency with
Again,
finances.
I was just going to say, honestly, financially is the reason that I haven't, because this isn't covered by your insurance. This is all out of your pocket. And it's quite expensive. So
Yeah, it can be. So like, I mean, to be honest, like my very first blood panel was like a $1,600 bill
yeah, that's nuts.
because I was literally getting everything checked.
Yeah.
Making
that's
sure I was
crazy.
clear on like the heart disease side of things and all
I
that
also
stuff. And
hate that insurance won't jump in on any of that. Like, it is truly for the health of you and feeling as good as you possibly can, and they just won't. So, I mean, even for me, I'm probably pushing $1,500 now to get back on track.
I mean, obviously you can pick and choose what you want.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wouldn't be if you wanted to go get it done. And it wouldn't be a bad thing. Or obviously you have a cabinet full of stuff that you could just start taking again.
I just don't know if where I'm at.
Well, none of it's not going to be like everything that you do have is
It's all
not,
just
it's not
thyroid support.
It's not going to hurt.
Yeah. It's not like
know,
severe medications that can damage things.
Well, I
It's
mean,
all
so
supplements.
even for women, like you do have testosterone in your body. And it is an important hormone for you to have.
Yes.
Not that you're on TRT or anything or need it, but like there's some basic things to just help elevate that.
Yeah.
Your DHEAs and your pregnenolone and making sure your thyroid's in check. And, you don't want, obviously the dominant hormone within a female is estrogen, but it's just as crucial. I mean, you hear these stories of...
Yeah, but if that's too high or low, you're screwed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's just like in a guy, like if your estrogen is through the roof, like you're probably struggling with weight and different issues.
Yeah.
And acne and all that kind of stuff. It's the same. And that was a bit of an issue that I had too. Like my estrogen was a little bit elevated and like my testosterone was in the tank.
Yeah. This is related. Did you research that Primal Queen at all that I talked to you about?
I thought
It's
I did.
like beef organs.
Yes,
Like you're
and
eating their fallopian tubes and all this stuff. And it's in a pill form. But my sister asked me about it the other day. And, on Instagram side of the world right now, it's all about how bad it is. Because no matter what your levels are, it's going to skyrocket them. So, like in my sister's case, for example, she has high estrogen, and that's why she can't take birth control, because if she takes birth control, it rises that estrogen, and then she vomits, okay? So her estrogen levels are maxed out. Well, if she were go to take Primal Queens,
She's just gonna get sick.
she's just going to get sick. It's like the same exact thing, and that's why she puked through pregnancy, because her estrogen levels rise so much. So people are just taking this thinking it's a fix-all, no matter where your levels are, and people are getting severe migraines, severe acne, severe weight gain. But then there's other people saying that it did the opposite. Got rid of my migraines, got rid of my acne, like all of these things. But that's why getting your blood work is so important, because you don't know where you're at. And if you just start taking shit, like who knows what it's going to do to your body? It's going to jack up your hormones.
Well, and that's the problem I think I had, is taking
Stuff that you didn't know.
all these quote unquote testosterone boosters and stuff when I was things that I just didn't
like
need.
17.
Yeah, trying to get big and jacked, and then it probably over the years of like finally starting to realize of like this stuff's probably not doing any good, because there is some natural remedies, but like you're not gonna, get bodybuilder big by taking a testosterone booster.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Because we're in a day and age of transparency now, which is great. But when I was in high school, like it was never talked about. You know what I mean?
No, it has come a long way in that.
So like you had no idea that all these guys are just like, holy shit, they got that big. Like, what are they taking? And then there's a picture in a magazine with them with all these supplements and this brand. And it's like, all right,
I'm going to take triple the dose.
I need to take this shit too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they got that big off of this, there's no way that I couldn't.
I'm not. I should probably up it and take 2 scoops.
And that was just young, dumb, and oblivious to,
Well, and there was no education like there is now. Right now, you can find so much information online. You didn't have that.
No. So
you can't blame yourself too much, but.
So that's obviously come a long ways, but I mean, that's just the importance of it.
Yeah.
Of the tried and true way is just go get your blood work done. Don't be just throwing shit in your body. And like one of two things, it can help or it could not, and it's a waste of money, or it could not, and it's going to make you feel 10 times worse.
Yeah. Do a lot of damage.
So just go get your blood work done and you're going to know where you're at.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the reason I went this direction is because there was one time I went to the clinic to have a physical and exam, and I asked them about all that stuff. Can I get the extra stuff than to see where my, testosterone and stuff is? I'm just, just curious, and got the results back, and she's like, oh yeah, you're good.
And then you go through these and they're like,
can I see? And I'm like, got the paperwork and I could just see. I'm like, I'm at the very low end
of good.
And it's like, why can't it get better then? And so I started doing research, and I, found, this company and reached out, and they sent over what I needed and filled out the questionnaires of what my goals are. And you know what I mean? And it's been great. It's all online consultation. If I have any question, I have, contact info for a doctor and for a provider, and emails, Zoom calls, whatever I need. All of a sudden I feel like shit. I need to be like, hey, something's not going right here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, let's figure out what's going on here, or like whatever it is, or I'm feeling great and things are amazing. And just to have that, communication. And also you're dealing with people that live the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like
they're not
the doctor I have is fucking jacked and tan and the whole nine. Like,
yeah, they're not overweight sitting at a desk.
They get it. They live it. They understand what it needs, and which is important. So, but
yeah, take care of yourself out there.
Yeah, it's important. I think the majority of people probably don't realize.
Well, and I'm quote unquote young, and I'm sure people at this age are just like, everything's probably fine. We'll check it when we're 50. But you can feel so much better.
Yeah, but then I obviously see like what happened with my dad, and all of a sudden he's in his early 60s and weaning his way out of work life in a sense. And he's like, well, finally, I feel like I have some time I could take care of my health a little bit more.
So the problem with your dad, unfortunately, is it was just too late. He was taking care of himself at the end. He was going to the doctor's appointments. He was taking all his meds. He was following up with doctors. Like, your dad was on it in the last, year and a half, 2 years?
A couple of years.
Couple years.
He was diabetic, obviously, too, and dealt with that for years and everything that kind of went with that. But Yeah, it was just like the years of abuse,
On your body is.
the years of not eating right, kind of that, working in the woods life was wake up, go to the cafe, have a big fatty breakfast, even though you're whatever having eggs and stuff, like what's it cooked in, and then you're having toast and you're having greasy bacon and sausage and hash browns and all the things, and then a couple bottles of water gets him through all day long, and then he comes home and he gorges at supper. Like, didn't eat it all during the day. Like, how is this guy operating? No wonder why he dreads his rides home in the afternoon, because he can't stay awake.
Yeah. Yeah, if he had some calories in him, he might have felt better.
And then of course your metabolism, everything just tanks. It's just running as slow as it possibly can to just get yourself through the day. So he had to have felt like shit all the time.
Oh yeah, guaranteed.
And then just to see it obviously catch up, and there was some other things, he had that surgery, he had that hernia fixed, and everything went great there, and apparently he passed everything he needed to pass to be able to go under for that, and all of a sudden 4 months later, like, we lose him. It's like, they had to have missed something.
Oh, for sure.
When it's just like, and what do you do? I mean, request,
records and try to point fingers.
But it's like, what is it? It does no good now.
No, it does no good.
Which is unfortunate, but it's also like, I don't want to be at that age and then trying to play catch up and be on a long list of medication that's like, you're taking another medication to counteract this one and this one and that one, and it's just like you have a pill bottle full of shit because you have one problem, but it all has all these issues and discretions and advisories, and it's just like, figure out what you need now and stay on that train and get your stuff. Even if it's once a year, you go in and get your blood work done.
I know.
And just reassess and stay ahead of the game, because unfortunately, like, with what people are putting in their bodies, I mean, even in a sense unconsciously, not necessarily knowing, like, how many people are going to the store and reading the label on the back of the boxes? You know what I mean? Even like you walk in there and it's like, it could be plastered big in big letters, organic, but is it? You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. We could go down that rabbit hole and be on this conversation forever, but
yeah. So being tax time, this is on my mind. These charges for Merrick, can those be a write-off? Like health expenses, like medical expenses, like I don't think we've ever.
No, I always categorize that stuff as medical.
Okay, good.
But I just don't know.
Good, as long as you categorize it, then we're fine.
Yeah, I don't know what portion of that is like a write-off in a sense, but
I know there's a lot of health based stuff,
which there should be.
Yeah, honestly.
So, and I know there's locally some people that are getting into hormone therapy and replacement and stuff. So, I mean, maybe I can, in a sense, switch over to cheapen things up a little bit. But it's like, are they going to be just as involved?
They're not.
Are they going to?
They're not. It's a simple blood panel.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's unfortunate. I mean,
like, Marcy's starting to do stuff, but the lab work is nowhere near what Merrick pulls.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. Maybe where you're going, if she wants to,
she can't until she's done.
Oh.
So it's conflict right now because she prescribes that stuff at work. So anything that she does at work, she can't do at the spa.
Hopefully it goes well for her, that she would maybe decide to step away from that one day.
Everyone says, like, hang on, because you are going to be way busier than you think. So I'm excited for her.
Well, because she's very health conscious.
Very.
And I feel like she'd be really good at that.
Yeah, she's going to do great.
And I think she would be really busy with it. And then, well, the same thing with her husband.
Yeah.
Very health conscious. Like, I feel like that'd be a pretty good thing for them to consider.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. Maybe there's a conversation to have with them. Be like, hey.
Get on it.
Yeah. I don't know. And I honestly feel like locally, like, that'd be something super beneficial.
Oh.
And then to just get, like, the knowledge and everything,
that's what I'm saying,
the conversations going. To just, like, get people
have some brochures on it, even just sitting on the desk. Let people become aware of all of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Because how many people actually are aware of this? Like, I do feel like this isn't a common, normal thing to get all this blood work checked and take care of yourself this way. Like, nobody talks about that. They do an annual checkup, make sure their heart's beating right, and then they're good to go.
yeah, that be compliant with their insurance, they probably need a physical, and that's
Like,
it. And it's like,
back to my dad. Like, remember him getting a checkup for the first time in like 20 years, and they're like, yep, everything's perfect. You're good to go. Don't change a thing. And then what?
a year later.
A year later, he's diagnosed with MS.
Mm-hmm.
A checkup doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
like, you telling me to breathe in and breathe out and checking my pulse. Like, what are you finding? What?
Mm-hmm.
It is very frustrating because I do feel like it's just base level.
Well, it is. You're functioning and you're able to work. Good to go.
Mm-hmm. Any issues? No? Okay.
Yeah, and how many people are honestly transparent
Well,
when you get asked those questions too?
and then the education of
Because-
even knowing, like, I shouldn't feel like this.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the majority of people on a daily basis are like, well, I felt like this for years, so I'm like, I'm healthy, I'm good. And how many people anywhere are gonna like look at themselves in the mirror and be like, you know what, I'm unhealthy and I need to get this figured out. It takes a very rare person and like a particular person to want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So like when that same person goes to the doctor and all the doctors are asking like, you know, anything we should be aware of, how you feeling, any issues, any concerns, and they're like, oh, I think I'm good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is sad.
So and obviously it takes a special doctor to be like, hey, we need to have a conversation.
Yeah.
I know you're telling me you're good, but like,
Yeah, how's it really going? And then for the patient to not bull up with that conversation.
to be in a comfortable atmosphere and to be in that right place of.
And maybe I'm wrong on this, you can call me out, but I feel like the majority of men are like, they don't want to face that. They don't want to face that they're not feeling good. They don't want to deal with, I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine. I'll push it off. I'm fine. It's,
Well, yeah, I'm just tired and I'm stressed and
Oh, well.
I'm overworked.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
yeah, and I wish.
I was there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I wish I would be more open on, women and men of just like, I feel like I could feel so much better than what I do now. Or I wish I could be sleeping more. Just simple things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's obviously something just even as basic as just like staying on a routine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like getting up at the same time every day and getting into that routine and eating good every day and
Getting some damn steps in.
yeah, move every single day.
I need to work on that
Mm-hmm.
because it's so much easier for me in the summer. And
Yeah, 'cause
there's no
there's-
excuse but like walking in the freezing cold temperatures throughout the winter. It's not exactly my cup of tea. There's people that bundle up and run every morning, no matter what the temperature is. But
Yeah, but
I also have a child that's going to wake up.
but also knowing what we have locally, like there's opportunities to get indoors and do stuff.
Yeah, there is. But
So it's
work's
just-
been crazy.
You know, throwing those excuses out and just putting the time in to do it. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's where I need to be too. It's just a little bit more difficult for me in a sense of like I need to drive a half hour, 45 minutes to get to a gym and then spend to make it feel like it's worth my time, a good hour, 15, hour and a half working out.
Yeah,
And then that drive back, so it's like I gotta, slot out 3 hours a day.
I know.
Which
It's
like
not easy.
you're intentionally already going right by the gym
Yes.
to and from work. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's just like for you, legitimately, is like carving out an extra hour.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like it seems a little bit less of an inconvenience in a sense. To where like me, I need to get into the routine of, I've talked about it many of times of like they open at 5. Get your ass up at 4 o'clock and get there.
Yep.
Work out at 5. Even if I bust ass and I'm back on the road and headed home at 6, I'm here when she wakes up.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly.
So I've been.
For me, it's hard to do the early mornings or late evenings because it's like I'm already over there. I should do it while I'm over there.
Mm-hmm.
But, on that note a little bit, work has been so busy that taking time away from that income feels like the wrong choice right now.
And that's where I've been. That's where I've been. And obviously there's urgency to now, because I had a slow winter to make hay while the sun shines, and I got work and like editing every single day this week, with some just little stuff on the side, and then feeling like I need to take away from that.
Yeah.
But I also need to see the benefits of it.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like creatively wise, when I get to the gym for some reason, it's like ideas start flowing, which is good and bad, because it's like I'm there to work out, but it's also like take a second between reps and just take a quick little note.
But then you're researching something, and then you're doing this.
I've been much better about that, to where I've been just taking notes, and then I'm going back and like, okay, here are the things I thought of, and now let's dive into it. Where like in the past,
Good.
I would do that. I'd go to the gym, and all of a sudden 2
Are you
hours.
still using that app? I think you talked about it at one point, that it like sets these timers for you or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that probably keeps you on track a little bit better.
Yeah, C-Boom's app. Yeah.
Is that free?
I don't think so. But it's like marginally, I don't think it was like any more expensive or anything compared to like MyFitnessPal.
Okay.
But it tracks food and does everything as well.
Okay.
Plus workout plans, but like everything.
On that note, did you see that Chat GTP can track all your food for you?
Well, I'm sure. Why couldn't it?
No, like you can take a picture of your servings and like everything. You can take a picture of an apple and it'll log it for you.
Yeah, but you'd have to.
I know it's not accurate because.
Anyways, I'm sure that will track food by doing that, but it's also like
Gotta be inaccurate.
when you have a Tupperware full of chicken and rice and everything.
Yeah, they don't know what it weighs.
Yeah, so that's where it's beneficial to just have an app.
I think it's convenient for the little snacks and stuff that you add throughout the day.
If you like take a picture of the barcode or the back, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I saw somebody doing it online. Whatever.
I'm sure. I mean, I know like it might not be a terrible idea even for you, of just like getting a meal plan. Here's my baseline calories. Here's some foods that I enjoy. Like, give me some recipes and ideas.
Yeah, I also like it because I saw someone use it and say, hey, I have no idea what I can make tonight. Here's what's in my refrigerator. And it will like give you stuff. And I'm like, that is nice, because how many times, what is the stress of every parent? What am I going to make tonight? What am I going to make tonight? What am I going to make tonight? And it's like, screw it. That thing can make you a full month meal plan and create a PDF, and you can print it off and put it on the fridge.
That's where, in a weird way, I'm also like, can that integrate into like your phone as far as like, hey, take a note for me? And it'll like,
I don't. Maybe it would save it in the app.
Not like a Siri thing.
Well, yes, it is, because he will say like, I'll save that to your preferences.
So I wonder if that's an in-app thing. But I know obviously Apple is trying to work on their Apple Intelligence. That I would think, I haven't played with it, but like Siri, I think will start getting to that point where you can have those conversations, and like, I know you can already like in my instance, if I like want to say like, hey, take a note of this. Here's a thought.
Set a reminder or whatever.
Those simple things. But to like be able to have that integration would be super beneficial, I would think.
Yeah, it would.
I don't know. There's some cool things that are coming with AI. I know people are like, eh.
Education for me is a lot of it. Information, interested in things. Now, obviously, helping you write emails and helping you create a caption and all of that stuff is simple.
Yeah, I can also see people
overdoing it.
Well, not necessarily overdoing it, but also starting to rely so heavily on it that they're losing that skill set a little bit.
Yeah.
So like, I've done and do those things too, but like, I'm writing as much as I can, and I'll like copy and paste it and be like, hey, need you help me
revise this? Yep.
Kind of a thing.
Yep.
And just, if anything should be reworded a little bit better, or it's just like, to me, having another person look at it.
Yeah. Just proofread.
Yeah. So I don't think it's bad that way, but even like,
I mean, college kids like write this essay for me. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, but the problem is there now is I think these institutions are starting to, they have some software and programs that they're able to put that in there, and they're able to detect if it was written by AI or not.
Yeah. I think getting ideas for essays and all that stuff is great. But people are like using it under the table for test scores, and that's tough.
Yeah, so school has got to be getting pretty tricky on that. Because it's like everybody wanting to get away from like all the manual options, and like everybody's putting computers or tablets in all these kids' hands during the school.
Yeah.
And it's like now you've just letting them access that stuff as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like all of those, in a sense, AI
It's like blocked.
options are blocked that they can't
Well,
access
it's
or
not like they
utilize
have a
them.
phone in their pocket, but
Well, that's what I mean. So it's like,
yeah.
honestly, like I feel like it'd be beneficial for a lot of these institution stuff to kind of like turn the page back and let's get back to a freaking calculator and a pencil.
Yeah, get rid of that.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Otherwise, how are these kids actually going to learn? And like your homework's going to have to be done during school, otherwise you're going to go home and use this shit.
Like, I wonder,
I don't know.
is it heavily notebook and pencil yet, or is like nothing?
I doubt it.
Like, I remember I had like 8 notebooks in my
One for
in my
every-
locker, one for every class. Like,
Yeah, I had run
we
back.
had no we had no computers. We had like a computer class. Mm-hmm. But
Yeah, I mean,
you know, I had a class on Photoshop. Did you ever take that? Yeah, Mr. Seiler. You know, I've kept in touch with him because he was into the photography and painting and all that stuff. And yeah, I took a Photoshop course. I remember playing with all that editing and stuff like that and removing backgrounds and like,
I can imagine it's a world of a difference.
oh my gosh, I literally feel like I can see the screen and like compared to what we have now. It's funny. But in a way, it is really similar. Like a lot of the tools that you have on your stuff right now, I played with.
Yeah, it's just all fine. It's just come a long ways.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like anything.
On the school note, you know, it hasn't been like a true finalized conversation, but I didn't apply for Avery to go. So at least 1 year. We'll see.
Yeah, I think we could just try it, and we're going to have to work through the summer of trying to get structure around it,
Yep.
of how we can incorporate or work that in.
Yep. I think it'll be really, really good. I'm excited about it, and I've become a lot more confident in it in the last couple months because it was a really big stressor for me for a long time, and now I feel really good. I'm just like, nope, this is it. This is what I'm doing.
I've even had or have listened to some conversations between adults. It was actually the one that I saw recently which are like pretty high profile people, was Tim Kennedy and
Yep.
what was her name? She's a UFC fighter, she was. Anywho, asked about it, and they were both homeschooled.
Yep.
And obviously...
Wait, she wasn't, was she?
No, I think she was.
Maybe I'm thinking about a different clip. She said she wasn't. She's like, you'll be upset to know, like, I went to the school. I was in the four walls of prison.
I think that's what it was. And then she's like, not realizing how much time was
wasted
and just wasted that, and like, so I didn't get to live.
He said that he was graduated and doing college courses by 15. That's how much time in our child's lives we're wasting. Yeah,
that's what they not even in a sense wasting, because I think that it's not a waste, obviously, but how much more capable our children are.
Yeah, he said that. He's like, we don't realize how much we can push our kids. And not in a mean way. Like, they are so much smarter than we give them credit for. Look at Avery. She's writing words because I'm telling her what letters to use. Like, she's not even been in school. She's so much more capable than what she realized. She's trying to sound out these words. Like, she's on it.
Yeah, and that's like an interesting topic too, of like, I think even on the parenting front, that they're just waiting for them to be of age that they can just go off in the school and I don't need to worry about it. When it's like, I think most of the children nowadays, or a good chunk of them, like, you could be teaching them regular things and keeping them engaged and like growing those skill sets as early as like 3 years old.
I know.
And starting to push some kids then.
I know.
You know, and I do give us credit that we do. I mean, not probably like, in a sense, a school curriculum.
We're not sitting down every day teaching her all of this stuff, but when we do, she picks it up so fast. So I'm really excited to see how well this will go, but just to see how smart she truly is instead of...
I mean, and it's not a bad time to try it, because like what, she would technically go to school like twice a week, half a day or something.
Yeah. 2 days a week, half a days.
You know what I mean?
Three days a week?
It might be 3 days.
3 days, half days.
So like that'd be obviously the inconvenience of it, of somebody needs to be around to pick her up at noon or whatever it is.
Yeah, and it's like, how does that all work? But I think this is just going to be so much
And
better. We're obviously going to have to work together, but we are both in careers that we can work together. We can make it work. I can still continue on the daycare path that I'm on. You know, she was fully supportive when I mentioned it. She's like, absolutely, just let me know. So none of that really needs to change. It's going to be so good. I'm much more confident about it now. I'm sure you can tell in my tone from the last episode to this one. It's just, and like a good friend of mine said, Liz from New Richmond, she's like, you want to send her in first grade? Send her in first grade. You want to send her in fifth grade? Send her in fifth grade. Like, she's going to be worlds ahead of that group anyway. She's not going to be behind, because that was my worry. I'm like, if I keep her home and then I want to send her in third grade, she's so far behind. She's like, no, she's going to be so far ahead. Like, it's going to be an easier transition for her. So at any point you can send her to school. And I'm like, okay, great. Maybe in high school she'll want to go, or.
Well, there's going to be a tricky thing there, because I wouldn't want to keep pushing her to daycare when she's
I know
8 years old and she's here with a bunch of babies.
I understand.
Young children.
I understand.
So like there's going to be kind of a weird time period for us of like, she's not at all fitting in with the daycare that we're at.
No.
In a sense, because like that's going to be super important. Because I've also seen that too, where like that socialization is extremely important. And I know that's where she was excited about school when it was brought up, is obviously friends.
Yeah, that is going to be the hard part, because now we can't fault my sister in Brexley for being excited about school. Like, Brexley's going to be great in school.
But then again, too,
But
it's like...
now it's like, shoot, like Avery just said to us, when do I get to go to school? And I'm like that conversation is going to be the hard one. But we need to find a way to tell her with excitement and positivity. And like, it's not like, nope, honey, you can't go to school. Like, that's not the conversation we need to have. You know, we can do school at home, and then we still can do all of the things that we love. Like, if you go to school, honey, you're not going to have time to do this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah, I mean, you got a couple hours a day that we're going to sit down and we're going to get what needs to be done. And
then we can do whatever we want, you know? Like, we got to find it exciting for her, and we'll be able to travel more, honey, and we'll be able to go see your friends more, and, you know, we'll be able to go do this or that. But...
Well, and even the idea of, like, quote-unquote, a summer off, she won't need it.
No, she's going to have...
She'll have time every single day that, like, we could literally teach all the way through the year.
Yeah, and the schools do have, like, enrollment for sports and stuff. She's not going to be a loner at home doing nothing. There'll be a lot of stuff that she can participate in. But I am really, really happy about this so far. And if things change and we want to send her, we can send her. It's fine. There's no harm, no foul. She will be just fine. So that's very exciting right now.
Yeah, I think, I mean, obviously we have a lot to figure out. But it's okay.
But, I mean, if we can just carve out a few hours a day, couple hours a day for the first 5 years, whatever it is, we'll be...
Yeah, even if it's that long, you know.
Right.
Who knows? I mean, we've touched on it before. Like, who knows what a year does?
I know.
You know.
Like a lot
our,
can happen.
You know, in a positive way, like our world could be flipped upside down and some awesome opportunities could come knocking. And, you know, in a year from now, like, we're in a position where, you know, we can consider shit a private school. Like,
right.
You know, you never know.
And Sarah and Tom in Eagle River, they are homeschooling, but they have a nanny. And this is where that nanny style would come in great, because nannies can help with schoolwork. They can stay with your child. They can travel with your child. They can go grocery shopping with your child. They can do everything that you need them to do while you're still out making money. And so that might, like, in the future be something that we can consider. I mean, I don't know anyone, but I mean, this girl was going to medical school and she quit school to be a nanny for them full time. So, you know, there's people out there that may be interested, but that's really handy when it comes to this style of schooling.
Yeah, there's definite options there. Just obviously another level of being able to afford that.
Right, of course. But I mean, you're either paying daycare or...
True. But I would think a nanny makes a lot more money than you'd pay daycare.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know?
Yeah. But again, saving the time, that's worth money. She would do, take care of all that stuff, and it would just be so convenient. So I'm sure it would be worth it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, obviously there'd be a big lofty goal to set, wanting to achieve something like that. Mm-hmm. Just financially being able to afford it and have something we've talked about too, but like the place to be able to occupy another person like that.
Yep.
Because it'd be, almost an everyday thing.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll cross that path when we have to, but.
Yeah, it's something that we can continue to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sure there'll be lots of things, but.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we'll be fine with it. Obviously, outside of the socialization, like, we definitely need to keep going there. But then, even on that topic, like, if we were going to try to enroll her in Leona with Brexley, like, I feel like that'd be a nightmare, in a sense. Because, they just want to play all the time. That's all they know. When they're together, it's just roughhouse play.
Or, they'll end up fighting more.
Well, that could be a possibility, too. But I think, to me, it's just a distraction.
Well, and, yeah.
Maybe Avery. Yeah, maybe Avery would be, more available in the sense of realizing that this is school and maybe being of a helping hand kind of a thing as well. Mm-hmm. But it'd be just at that age, I feel like it'd be hard for her to stay focused. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because that is a huge step. Of all of a sudden now you're in a room of a dozen other kids and you're all supposed to be doing something.
And sit down.
Mm-hmm. Obviously they try to keep it fun and engaging and stuff.
4K is literally nothing.
Yeah.
They sit around a circle and listen to them read a book, and then there's nap time in there.
Glorified daycare.
We're going to sing the ABCs, and yeah, it's fine. Mm-hmm. So I think for at least the first few years we'll be fine, but I know that your concern is socialization, and I don't think that'll be an issue right now. I think we have enough people.
Mm-hmm. No, I know that.
And we do enough that she's always out socializing, and, we can take her wherever we want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it'll get to an age where it probably would be important. Mm-hmm. Because I've seen the kids also that have been homeschooled and they just don't have the socialization, and they've just, all of a sudden they're 18 years old. And
she's far above that. I just don't know that that'll be an issue for her, but it's something we will be aware of and we'll continue to watch.
Mm-hmm. I just don't want her to be like that socially awkward kid.
No, that's why keeping her in the sports that she can enroll in and stuff is going to be key.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's obviously on our shoulders, but...
Mm-hmm. You okay back there?
Yeah. The light that I had there is off.
Oh.
The battery died. But.
Okay.
Yeah. What time do you start today?
10.
10?
10 to 4, I think.
I saw Jaden had texted me. I want to know if I'd take a ride up to Marquette with him, but I don't think I want to go.
Oof. Just let him take your truck if you're going to be home.
Yeah, as long as, I guess he could leave his here. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I could see if that's what he wants. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that's what it is.
Yeah, it is. He told us that last night.
He just had to put fuel in it.
Yeah. Or take my car and I'll take your truck. I don't care. Either way.
Yeah, he could probably just take the truck, I guess. So, it doesn't...
We'll figure that out.
It doesn't matter. We can talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I feel like I should just stay here and edit and make money.
Yes.
Sure, it's a fun and cool drive to go up that way and bring a camera with, and who knows what you see, but...
Yeah.
That's something I want to do once the snow starts melting. I think we should, things start opening up. We should plan a little, I don't know, even if it's a weekend, go find somewhere to stay, like Saturday night. Mm-hmm. Go run through the UP and chase waterfalls and do that kind of stuff.
That'd be really fun.
Go do some scenics and get up along the shores and stuff. And so there's a lot of really cool photo opportunities, and could do some of that travel style stuff.
Yeah, I want to hike with Avery this summer.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's some, within a pretty short drive, there's some really cool things to go see. Mm-hmm. Was that 2 years ago, or is that last year we went and started to look around at some?
Last year, I think.
When
Before we had Avery, we went to Porcupine Mountains.
Yeah. But she was with when I lost my drone.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't last year. It must have been the year before.
Right.
Willow was real little.
Yeah, she was.
She was a puppy, so that been 2 years ago. I was like, that was my little mini drone.
You Flew it right into the waterfall.
It had no like sensors on it, and stupid me, inexperienced. Like I forgot I had my ND filter on, and I threw it up, and then it was good, and I stepped back, and I looked down at my screen, and it's like pitch black. And then I don't know what I did. I hit a button, and it flew like straight backwards into some trees and down into the waterfall. So. Yeah.
Oh boy.
No. Oh well.
Yikes.
So that's why I have replacement on them.
I know. Yeah, I forgot about that.
So I actually have that other Mini that I crashed again, and the gimbal's broke on it.
Nice. Good job.
And I was supposed to send that in and get it repaired, and another thing. Have to go to an authorized shipping center, UPS or something, and then I just keep forgetting. So I need to reach out and get a label, because the label I had is expired.
Just another thing on the list.
Yeah, because that's something that I just don't use, but also having another drone isn't bad to have. To where, honestly, I'd probably just get it fixed and sell it. So.
Yep.
I mean, another one's always nice, but I don't know. We'll see. All the things.
Well, next time we'll have some stuff to recap.
Yeah, I felt like my intention was to kind of recap some of the work and stuff I've been doing lately, but we'll
don't know when we're going to film next, because Monday and Tuesday you're roosting birds.
Well, not until the afternoon.
That'll be afternoon. Okay, we'll film
So we'll do a morning, Monday or Tuesday, right away early in the week, so that I have time.
Yep.
Because I'm going to have to lump turkey and stuff into there, so.
Yep.
Maybe we'll try to do it right away Monday morning after you get back, and we can recap.
Sure.
That'll give me all week.
It's not going to be much. We're just going to relax and have a good time.
Yeah, but I've done a lot of fun and cool work lately that...
Yeah, we can talk about too.
Talked a little bit about it, but yeah, we're getting there.
All right.
Trying.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah, this kind of turned into a bit of a health one.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Until next time, everyone.
Love you.
Love you.